Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Given, back with another avatar, the last Airbender Commander. And today we have Ozai Sets the World Ablaze, starring Ozai the Phoenix King. Let's get right into it, shall we? So Ozai is Zuko's dad. He's a big jerk. It's through and through, right? Pretty big, awful person. He is the reason that his kids are messed up. And Ozai here is a 7/7 for 2 generic, 2 black, and 2 red, and has trample, firebending 4, haste, and if you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead, and Ozai has flying and indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana. So today's theme is we are going to try to get as many combat phases as possible. That's what we're going to do here. And yes, this one is not budget. Like I had mentioned in a previous video, I want to see how far we can push some of these cards, right? Like, it's always fun, like, you know, it's always fun seeing what the new cards can do when they're just pushed to the limit. So, let's see. So, Ozai here. Firebending 4, you know what that means. It means when he attacks, you get 4 red mana. Pretty good, especially when it can't be unspent. So, we have 14 creatures in here. They're all serving very specific purposes. Ancient Copper Dragon. You'll see why he's in here in a little bit. But when you hit somebody, you get to roll a d20 and get that many treasures. Real good. We get Avatar Roku, Firebender, which is whenever a player attacks, add 6 red mana until the end of combat. You don't lose this mana as steps end, which is really cool. That adds a lot of red mana, and I mean a lot of red mana. He is a 6 mana creature. Bergie, don't ever flip it. Just keep it here. Whenever you cast a spell, you get a red mana until end of turn. You don't lose this mana, or if you have Ozai, you just never lose the mana. Then we have Electro, Assault Battery. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end, and whenever you cast an instant sorcery, you get another red mana. And if he dies, you get to shoot somebody for X, if you pay X. We have Firebending Student, which is Prowess, and Firebending X, where X is this creature's power. We have Firelord Ozai. This is from the Jumpstart set. And whenever Firelord Ozai attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, add an amount of red mana equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Until end of combat, you don't lose this mana. And you can pay 6 to make it so exile the top card of each opponent's library until end of turn. You may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. As you can see here, we have a lot of firebending, a lot of ways to save mana. And then who's this? We got Hellkite Charger. When he attacks, you can pay 7. If you do, untap all creatures, and after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. You see what we're trying to do here, friends? We've got him. We've got our firebending dudes who add a bunch of mana. We've got our Ancient Copper Dragon who adds a bunch of mana. Yeah, we're going for infinite combat steps. That's how we're trying to win. It's expensive, but I think we can do it. We got Karlach, sorry. Oh my god, I should know better. I've played the shenanigans out of that game. Whenever you attack, if it's the first combat step, guess what? You get to untap. And all attacking creatures, they gain first strike, and after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. We also have Neheb, the Eternal. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, add a red mana for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. Which is really interesting, because some of the extra combat cards let you have an extra main phase, and then you get an extra attack phase. Then we have Professional Facebreaker. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure. You can exile the top card of your library by sacking a treasure, and you can play it this turn. Ragavan, you know, he's a little theft monkey. We have Vindictive Warden, Menace, and Firebending 1, and you can pay 3 to deal 1 damage to each opponent, which you could potentially generate infinite mana with infinite combat steps, so even if they had some way to prevent you from killing them via the combat steps, you can still ping them out. Zuko, Exiled Prince, Firebending 3, and exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. We have Zuko Firebending Master, which is Firebending X, where X is the number of experience counters you have, and whenever you cast a spell during combat, you get an experience counter. He also has First Strike. Then we have our sorceries, right? We got Jessica's Will, we got Mana Geyser, Riot of Flame. Yeah. We have Overmaster in here, which is the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn. Can't be countered. Draw a card. It's very important. We have Overpowering Attack. Untap all creatures. If it's your main phase, you get an additional combat phase after this, followed by an additional main phase. Relentless Assault. You get to have another combat phase. Twin Flame puts copy into play. You have Toxic Deluge. You have Torment to Hailfire because we can generate infinite mana. We have Sozin's Comet, which this card looks pretty good. Each creature you control gains Firebending 5 until end of turn, which means, you know, when they attack, you get 5 red mana. It also can foretell, which is good. So foretell it at the beginning of the game, and when the attacking starts, you do this, and you just start going bonkers. For instance, we have 13. A lot of it's going to do some split effects, etc. We got Chaos Warp in here for a little bit of protection. We got Deadly Rollick for the same thing. Dark Ritual help us get our Ozai out because he is expensive. Pyroblast to help protect us from counters. Deflecting Swat for protection. We have Electro Dominance. Electro Dominance deals X damage to any target. You may cast a spell with mana value X or less from your hand. You can also just kill somebody. Fork, Treat Fork is an exact copy of the target spell, so you fork your own spell, choose new targets. We have the Great Train Heist, which is untap all creatures. You get another combat phase. You can add a whole bunch of different effects to it. We have Reiterate, which also copies target instant or sorcery. So if you copy Sozin's Comet, for example, a bunch of times, it adds extra instances of Firebending on there. So lots of stuff. Seething Song, the last Angikai, which is target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. If the creature the opponent controls is dealt excess damage, add that much red. Till end of turn, you don't lose red mana. Or you don't lose mana, I should say. Unleash Fury, double the power of target creature until end of turn. And Untimely Malfunction, destroy an artifact, and then you can have it so creatures can't block, and you can change the target of a spell. Artifacts. So we do have mana rocks in here because our stuff is expensive, friends. Like pretty dang expensive. So we have Arcane Signet, we have Chrome Mox, we have Ruby Medallion, we have Soul Ring in here, we have Rakdos Signet, Talisman of Indulgence. We also have the Soul Stone, as expensive as it is in this deck. But, like I said, we're pushing it to the limit here. For interesting cards, we have the Dolmen Gate. So, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. So that way you can attack into your opponent's stuff without having to worry about everything dying. We have Helm of the Host. If you can manage to get it equipped, you can create multiple non-legendary Firelord Ozais, which is pretty good. Genjai Gloves, which is equipped creature has double strike, and whenever equipped creature attacks, if it's the first combat of this turn, untap, you get another one. Sorry, we have our boots that are made for walking here to protect our stuff. We have our Silver Shroud costume. It gives unblockable. We have the One Ring. We have the Reaver Cleaver, which creates a whole bunch of treasure tokens. And then we have Doubling Cube. Double the amount of each type of mana in your mana pool. I have one of these somewhere. This card's fun. For enchantments, of course, we have to have Aggravated Assault to get our infinite attack steps, right? You just pay 5 and you get another attack step. And that's just how you get to do that. You can just play it anytime there's a sorcery. Bedlam, so the opponent's creatures can't block. Braid of Fire, since you're going to have Ozai and your red mana doesn't empty, you may as well have yourself Braid of Fire. Descent into Avernus, which is at the beginning of your upkeep. You get 2 descent counters onto Avernus. And then each player creates X treasure tokens, where X is the amount of descent. They also take that much damage. Dictate of the Twin Gods. We have Fated Firepower. Good old Iroh. Has X and triple red. Flash. This enchantment enters with X fire counters on it. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus an amount of damage equal to the number of fire counters on this enchantment instead. I'm going to have to make a red-blue proliferate with this. I'm gonna have to. Mana Flare lets our all lands tap for double, and then we have Phyrexian Arena. For lands, we have quite a few in here. A whole bunch. I'm going to list ones that kind of stand out. So Command Beacon, if our Ozai dies, he is very expensive, so we need a way to get him back. We have Boseiju, so you can make it so things can't be countered. We have Minas Morkel, which you can put a shadow counter on one of your creatures so it can't be blocked, which is really good, especially if you don't want your expensive stuff to die. Maze of Ith, so yes, you can attack, add the mana, and then Maze of Ith the creature. If he had white with him, you could also use Reconnaissance to do the same thing. Rogue's Passage for unblockable, because why not? Shinka, the Blood Soaked Keep, which is target legendary creature gains first strike. Shizo, which is target legendary creature gains fear. We got Urborg in here, and then we got our fetches and some shocks and stuff like that. But yeah. Let me know what you think. I think that he has a good amount of potential to him. I'm going to try to build as many of these decks as I can in paper when I get them, because like I said, I love Avatar. But let me know what you think his max and minimum power level is. Let me know if you think he's too expensive to hang with Bracket 3 or Bracket 4. But as always, I am Weston with The Hidden Given, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.